Colman, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, my brother, good to see you. So good to see you.
Great to see you, dude. I'm just calling this year the year of the Domingo, man.
Dude, I'm here for that. Call it that. Tell the
You're
people in the back.
dude, you're on fire, dude. It just has been so much fun to watch you blow up, and I love supporting it, dude. So congratulations on everything so far.
Thank you,
Congrats
man.
on Candyman.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, you watched it last night on the projector. It was pretty dark. It was pretty dark. I'm not looking in the mirror for a while.
Good, good. I don't think you should. Don't look in there.
I want to talk. I want to talk about Candyman, but first, dude, I like in celebrating. Like, I feel like it's finally coming around after so many years of hard work for you. Your snowball is growing and rolling faster and growing faster. I want to hear, what do you think was the pivotal point where things really started to click for you and these opportunities started to roll one after the other?
I don't know. Honestly, that's a great question, but I don't even know if there's been a pivotal point. I think it's been the long game. It's been consistency. I think it's like I've constantly been showing up and working hard. And I think that each project is just a bit more amplified. And suddenly, even the fact that like I shot a lot of these films before the pandemic, and even while I'm on the show like Fear the Walking Dead, in between on my hiatuses and off breaks, I do other things. So I'm constantly working. And then I keep my head down and I just do the work. And I do this different character work and work with make these different relationships happen. And then suddenly all my flowers are in bloom, but it's seeds that I've been planting for a long time. I do think that it's an amalgamation of a lot of years of work. It's like 31 years of just doing the work and just doing the work for work's sake. And suddenly amplification is louder than ever. But I still feel like I'm doing the work that I started with, which is just, I love doing different work in different ways and doing different character work and different genres. And now suddenly I'm working with, I look up and I'm working with a lot of high profile artistic projects that I'm very proud of.
Hey, man, there's nobody I know who deserves it more. I love it. I love that it's working out for you.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. Do you remember, how well do you remember the OG Candyman and Tony Todd's story back then? Like, what, do you have that first memory of that film?
My first memory actually was like staying away from it because I was too terrified to even watch it.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
I heard about it and I was like, well, I'm not watching that. But now I had to watch it because I was cast, because Jordan Peele wrote this role for me in Candyman. So I had to actually examine it. And then once I did, I realized why it stood the test of time. It's fantastic. It's a great examination of the monster that's created in our culture. And then what happens, and then how it's passed down in history. And then this sequel is very much a spiritual sequel, and how it really jettisons it into modern times and for modern audiences. I love it.
Yeah. You've picked a few films that have real messages and parallels to real world stories. And this one obviously has its clear racial justice parallels and themes that it touches on and a message it wants to send. I'd love to hear what your process is like in how thoroughly you analyze those messages and what the filmmakers are trying to say when you're picking roles like this one or anything in your career.
You know what, when I'm choosing roles, to be very honest, and I will just say, because I've been very blessed to have an examination of like a film like Zola in the beginning of the summer, and now Candyman at the end of the summer. And I think actually there's a line drawn between them. It really is an examination of our society right now. They're both examinations of America. One is about America and commerce in many ways, because everybody's trying to make that shmoney, which is Zola, and playing a character that has a lot of the underbelly of what the American dream is. And then you have something like Candyman, which is everyone's aspirational in some way. The neighborhood is changing, the gentrification. So I think that there's such fine lines with an examination of who we are in our culture. And I know that's something I'm very conscious of. I do want to create roles and work that's entertaining, but it's also thought-provoking and also meaningful. I think we know this, that like we spend hours and hours and hours doing film, and my work, especially with the character work that I do, no one has any idea of the hours that I spend on even just building a character and doing my research. That's the part that I love. So if I'm spending 10 hours a day doing research work for a film, that means it has to be meaningful. That's the way I judge it. I'm like, hey, is this going to keep me up? Is this going to wake me up? Because I wake up at 5 in the morning. I wake up at 5 in the morning, and I usually get 5 hours of work done before anybody's really awake. I will just get up and I'm like, oh, between 5 and 10, I'm researching this next character and doing all this detailed work. So if I'm spending that kind of time, it's got to be meaningful. I can't be fluff.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know when you sleep. I don't know when you do it, but I appreciate all the effort you put in and the thought you put into these things. Your director here, Nia DaCosta, does a great job. She's building a nice resume for herself. She's going on to do the Marvels. You know, I'm a big comic book fan. I want to hear about your experience with her because I'm curious about her next step. I'd love to hear how you think she's going to fit this next big blockbuster.
When you get to know her, you'll see that she is sort of a quietly, I don't know, graceful, gentle, intelligent director. She's not, blowing through with, loud, blaring with her ideas. She's very, it's a very sensitive, smart eye. She's confident. She has the confidence of like such senior directors. I think directors who've probably been doing it for like 50 years or something. She's got that confidence of like Clint Eastwood or Steven Spielberg. She does. She knows the kind of stories that she wants to tell. I love working with her and I look forward to seeing what she does next. I hope it involves me at some point.
Well, speaking of it, listen, Yaya is in the DC world. Tiana, I mean, and Nia, all these people are part of Marvel. When are we going to get you in Marvel or DC? Dude, I think Norman Osborn is a role that I would love to see you in.
Dude, first of all, you speak to everyone in both universes at all times. So it's your job to make sure that I'm a part of it. I'm making that your job to make me the next super villain or something. I don't know. But to be very honest, I would have a ball with that. And I don't know, maybe we're waiting for the right role to be created for me.
Would you rather be a hero or a villain in one of those?
A villain, absolutely. Heroes are cool, but villains have more fun.
Norman, I'm telling you, Norman Osborn.
Villains are like blondes. They say they have more fun. I want to be a villain.
and you and I, we've gotten to know each other over the years because of your work on Fear the Walking Dead. I can't believe 7 years in now. That's unbelievable that it's been going on, that we have been doing this for that long already. It feels like it just started. I'd love to hear like where you want to see that journey go and how long you think the longevity of that show can continue on.
I think the Walking Dead universe it's truly been built like the Marvel universe. It can keep going on and on. You can even do, different character arcs and storylines. I think that there's a whole universe there. I think Victor Strand has been existing for now 7 seasons, and we'll see how much longer that goes. But I love the journey of Victor. As long as there's more story for him to change and evolve, I'm interested. If he becomes stagnant in any way, I think it's time to bite him or something. But as long I'm having a good time in season 7, man, we're having a crazy good time. I think that we've sort of doubled down on Victor Strand being Victor Strand, and that's a fun journey. I love the way the character has been built from the very beginning, and I think that we're going to a lot of his origins and roots again and going.
Yes. Yeah, dude, I love that we're getting those original shades of Strand back, man. The show's on fire. Congrats on the receptions recently. And it's always a pleasure to talk with you, brother. I hope all's well on your end.
Good to see you too. All right.
Great
I'll
to see
talk
you,
to you
man.
more. All right.